boys and girls. What a fantastic result. I'm even celebrating with a wee dram, only because I've run out of beer. If you watched that game, I'm sure you enjoyed it just as much as me. If you didn't watch it, you missed a fantastic game. Before I go through all my bullet points I could do every game, that was the best football we've played this season. That's the best football we've played in a very, very long time. It was just so controlled, so calm, so dominant. It was just Newport for the whole 100 minutes of football. Tom King, the Guinness World Record holder, back in the net. He had maybe a save or two, and they were simple saves to make. It was incredible. Fantastic football. I can't fault a single player. I think I might be wrong because I might be wrong, but I'm fairly certain Michael Flynn only made the one sub, I think, out of the possible 5 I think they're allowed. And halfway through this, you'll hear in a minute, I was saying, like, if there were subs to be made at this point, maybe a defensive one or a midfieldy sort of thing, just to freshen things up. But I couldn't pick who I would take off because nobody messed up, nobody did anything silly. Everybody was playing like a man possessed. It was fantastic. It was, although, we've got people on the bench that could probably do a fantastic job as a super sub, just to hold up a bit of the play. It would be an absolute farce to take someone off after the performance all 11 men on that pitch tonight put in. So I might be wrong, I might have made 2 subs, but he certainly didn't make the 5 that I think they're allowed, not even the 3. I'll rattle through this. First, Michael Flynn, fantastic effort. He changed things up, and I saw people on Twitter and on the Facebook pages and the chats and stuff like that moan a little bit. People called Michael Flynn insane a little while ago for trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And he changed things up tonight, and people moaned. But it paid off. So, Mr. Michael Flynn, fair play to you. Not that you watch this, I'm sure. As always, I'll tell you where we started in the table. We were 7th. We remain 7th. But it's a good 7. Where were they in the league? I'm not sure. Potentially 12th. I think 12th. And before the game started, I was saying, right, we can go 6th. Exeter were playing Forest Green Rovers. And I was thinking, if Exeter lose, it's tough because Forest Green were 1 above us at 6th and Exeter 1 below us at 8th. And that ended 0-0, which really probably, because we got Exeter on Saturday, that's probably the best result for us, really. So everything, this whole season, I think, has gone our way. All the games, even when we've lost and drawn, if you cast your minds back, every single result that could have gone our way has gone in our favour. It's like the footballing gods, if there is such thing, are looking down on us. And if any year, it can happen, it's got to be this year, surely. Everything's gone in our favour. But yeah, there we go. I've waffled on for 3 minutes and I've not even started yet. So I'll rattle through it real quick. Pitch looked great before we started. They were watering it and all that good stuff. Only water in half. That sort of tactics, good stuff. Tunes blasting. I tuned in about 15 minutes earlier than I normally do, and they're absolutely blasting the tunes. And it was a good vibe, and everything looked good. And I was really, really confident from the start, which was good. Yeah, okay. So then I comment on the lineup. Michael Flynn's playing with the lineup. I've already commented on, so I'm just going to skip straight over that. Hartigan was in, played fantastic. Tom King, Mr. Guinness World Record himself, and Lewis Collins started, which I always love to see because that man. That boy, he's only 20 or 19, whatever he is. He's an absolute superstar. He absolutely deserves a starting spot in our first 11 every week, from my opinion. I wrote down then, just watching Podge warm up and just the vibes I was getting. I've written, feeling a magical Podge performance. I was hoping for a couple of goals. He didn't score, but he put in an absolute shift and he played the 90 minutes and all that good stuff. Which is nice for the 33-year-old. So I'm claiming that as a victory. I reckon I won by saying he was going to have a magical performance. First minute, great chance, just narrowly dragged wide. That pretty much spelled out what was going to happen for the whole first 45. I don't think that we were in our defensive half once or twice for the whole 45 minutes at the beginning. Sheehan looked great in the opening 10 minutes. He was playing some fantastic football. The way he can just turn around players without even looking down at the ball I think it's fantastic. So we do well to keep hold of him if we go up or if we don't. But we'll see. It'll be interesting. A Labs shot, yeah, pushed onto the post. Podge taps it in the 11th minute. I screamed the place down. Kids are at their mums tonight, and I absolutely did scream the place down. It was then given offside. But just everything was working towards a Newport victory, and it felt great. The opening 12 minutes, I think we had 4 or 5 shots. It was literally, you get the ball, you shoot. I think Michael Flynn, that's the message he was passing on to the players before the game. He was absolutely in all-out attack mode on FIFA, and it was fantastic to watch. Haynes on the left wing, it was way too fast for his defender, and it was great to see. He was just getting fouled to get the ball off him, and it was winning us dangerous free kicks or set pieces that we know years gone by, and even this season, we're good at. Still no Matty Dolan, just thinking about that then, thinking about set plays. It's just part of the concussion protocol, I think. That's what your man Charlie Brown, whatever his name, was saying. So hopefully he is okay, but they're just following the rules, you know. The Crawley physio somehow in the 15th-ish minute got booked. Not entirely sure what he did or what he said, but he was sat on his water cooler and the ref jogged over and showed him a yellow and he laughed at him. It was a bit mad. The ref was mental tonight, by the way, absolutely mental. Lewis Collins was dragged to the floor. He might have milked it a little bit, but it absolutely was a foul in the box, and no pen was given because this is League Two and referees like to make things up on the spot, but we won't dwell on it too much. Opening 30 minutes, our football is worthy of the Super League, which, watching as literally as I'm talking now, the little pop-ups from Sky Sports News and all that sort of stuff, looks like it's falling to pieces, which is fantastic news for football fans all around the world. But the performance we put in tonight, we could have probably taken Tottenham's spot in the Super League, but there we go. Sheehan, absolute rocket, but it was saved, and it was saved well. Again, just pointing out the, fire at will sort of shoot now, ask questions later sort of football we were playing tonight. It was brilliant. The amount of corners we had because of the on-target shots that were having to be tipped past the posts and stuff was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. In the 44th minute, Podge hits the crossbar and it bounces down. When you hit the crossbar and it bounces over, you're way off. But if it hits the crossbar and bounces down and just past the line, as in front of the line, not behind the line, it was pretty close. But it was an off-target shot, but it was a pretty one to watch. Half-time 0-0, but we were smashing them 0-0 at this point. Absolutely smashed them 0-0. 47th minute, I think it was the 47th, it might have been the 49th. I was bouncing up and down at this point. Liam Shepherd, absolute miles out. Scott Twine-esque. I talk about that man every week because I miss him. 1-0. It was a thing of pure beauty. Labs then, a couple of minutes later, rolling around the floor, his left ankle by the looks of things. It looked pretty gnarly. It didn't look nice at all. He comes off, jogs back on. A couple of minutes later, he just sits down on the floor and it looked like he was creaming in, but he didn't. He came off again and went back on again, and Mr. Fantastic, Captain Newport County himself, played the full 90 minutes. Let's hope he's okay to start the next game, because that starting 11, I absolutely do not want change for the next game, because the rest of the games this season, as you all know, I don't need to tell you, are must-wins. 63rd minute, Tom King makes a save, the first shot of the evening, and it was saved well. It was saved comfortably and easily, and there was never a doubt it was going to be saved. Labs was still at this point limping about, and I thought, if he needs to come off, who's going to come on? Potentially Kevin Ellison maybe, or Joe Ledley perhaps. But like I said a minute ago, he didn't. 70th minute then, Newport absolutely in control. This was their game. They were enjoying their football. There was no pressure. We had so much room in the midfield. It was unreal. Next thing I write, the press in play and the pressure that we were applying, they just couldn't do anything about it. It was amazing to watch. It was a joyous to watch. That's what I've written. It's a great descriptive word there, Phil. Well done, mate. 75th. We need a couple of holding subs potentially, or I was thinking if there was to be a sub to be made, it would have to be a sort of holding midfielder or a defensive sub, because the attackers weren't doing a thing wrong. We could have been 3-0 up at this point easily, but we weren't. Yeah, I mentioned Ledley again then, and then I literally said, as I mentioned at the beginning, a couple of subs potentially, Ledley perhaps, but no one's played bad enough to replace. It'd be an absolute farce to take somebody off, so he didn't, pretty much. Confused, this is what I've written next, confused as to how Podge, somehow at the ripe old age of 33, has ran non-stop for 80 minutes. He literally didn't stop. He chased everything the same speed in the first minute as he did in the 80th. It was fantastic. He was a man possessed tonight, and he's absolutely still got it. There's he's not scored as many goals this season, but the passion that he plays for his club, it's unreal. I don't think, we all know he's played for decent teams in the past, Shamrock at the beginning and then Grimsby later on in his career, and scored some fantastic goals. But honestly, I think that I might be a bit biased, but I think all of our players love our club. Over the past couple of years, I've absolutely noticed that they are a passionate bunch of people, and Podge especially. Although he's 33, he just played his little heart off, and him and his family and his little son should all be very, very proud. And let's hope he's sticking around for a little while in some respect. Nicky Maynard then came on for Lewis Collins. That was probably just a bit of like a tactical sub. Lewis Collins obviously being a youngster, and Nicky Maynard, as we all know, is a seasoned veteran of the game. Not that I thought Lewis Collins was flapping or nervous or anything like that about holding on to the lead, but the risk that he might do that, Michael Flynn may have thought, let's mitigate that by bringing on this seasoned vet, because like I said, same as Podge, Lewis Collins was just absolutely blasted for the entire 90 minutes. It was unreal. He was fantastic. Charlie Brown, the commentator, then gets a text from his referee friend and says, wow, your ref is having a mare. Good thing he didn't say that ref's name if he is a professional ref, because they'd probably get in trouble, but he absolutely is right. The ref had an absolute mare. He was given throw-ins and free kicks. I think he dished out 7 cards for that game. It was wild, but whatever, it's League 2, and this is one of the things we have to get used to. I then written the amount of injuries and time wasting going on, I reckon we're going to have about 7-8 minutes at a time. And then a Crawley boy got a straight red card for dropping the people's elbow on Shepherd, and they added 10 minutes. And then Crawley looked like they were going for it. When they were on the counter, which wasn't very often, or when they had a free kick, they had 11 men in our half. Their keeper was on the halfway line, and all their defenders and everyone were forward. And, when that happens, you just hope you can get something on the counter just to absolutely seal it. And then in the 100th minute of that game, Aaron Lewis, with a majestic shot from outside the box, assisted very calmly and coolly by Nicky Maynard, makes it 2-0. It was beautiful. It was a lovely thing to watch. And it was just such a chilled out, cool game. Like, it was not training ground, because of course they took it seriously, but it was so calm, and because of how well Newport controlled the game, they all enjoyed it. It looked like they had a great time. And that's what you want to see, isn't it? Just being able to stay calm and cool in these situations where it is absolutely like life or death. Promotion or not promotion, essentially. And, for how long we were sat in the top spot, 2 months, whatever it was, you gotta go for it, haven't you? You absolutely got to go for it. So there you go, 100th minute, the ref blew his whistle, 2-0. Forest Green drew 0-0 with Exeter, which, like I said a minute ago, suits us well. We stay 7th, but 3 points away from Exeter, who we play on Saturday at their gaff. So if we beat them, we'll be in a very, very good place. And Forest Green, who sit 6th, are only 1 point above us. And then the rest of the guys who sit first, third, and all that sort of stuff, because I know they've all played an extra game to us. So, I know all of us have done an absolute mammoth amount of moaning this season. This is tonight and the previous game, some of the best football I've seen us play. And I really, really hope we can make something of this season, and hopefully we can do something at the end. I'd love nothing more than to sit in Bar Amber or the Little Marquee or whatever it is and get absolutely steaming with yous and see the boys go past on an open top bus and let some flares off and all that good stuff. Hopefully, but only if it's safe, of course. That's me done. Massive game coming up on Saturday. I was going to say, so man of the match, There were 11 of them, essentially. But Aaron Lewis did not stop. Nearly everything he touched turned to gold tonight. He was fantastic. And then I probably could have given it to somebody else, but then he went and slammed that goal in the 100th minute to absolutely seal the deal. But it was very nearly going to the likes of Haynes or Labs or Podge, Lewis Collins. You could have given it to so many different people tonight. The football we played tonight was absolutely fantastic, and all the boys should be proud. This is a long video, 16 minutes, so I'm going to shut up and let you enjoy the rest of your whatever day this gets posted, like the rest of your week, rest of your day, whatever. Boys and girls, that was fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I did this in one take, by the way. That's good. I will let you listen to my droning voice on Saturday. Be good. See you later.